Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry that it's been like a year and a half since I have filmed, but things have been dramatic. I have had an ordeal with Amazon, but I finally have some brand new lighting. I have been to the doctor, I have had family stuff come up, but nonetheless, I am back, so hooray for the people that actually watched my videos so far. So anyway, all of that aside, what I'm going to do for you guys today is my go-to springtime makeup look. I am by no means a professional makeup artist. I've never worked at MAC, never worked at Nordstrom. The only real classes I've had are theatrical makeup classes, which basically include cuts and scrapes and bruises and burns and things like that, which I'd be more than happy to show you what I know from what I learned at my school. But in terms of normal makeup, I don't really know a lot. What I have learned, everything has been from YouTube. I've pretty much learned everything from Jaclyn Hill and Graveyard Girl, Tanya Burr, Pixie Woo, really anybody like that. And I am just a girl who loves to buy makeup and put it on my face, and for some reason I felt like filming it for y'all today. I'm really excited about this look because it's super easy to do. It's super straightforward. There's no crazy cut crease or contouring or anything like that. It's just simple, straightforward, pretty, glowy makeup that anybody can do. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit and see. I should probably stop recording to do this. Just a second. All right, so what I'm going to be starting with, no surprise here, is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream. I am in the shade Fair because I am fair. I usually like to go about a smidge, a squirt and a half on the back of my hand. See, squirt and a half. And then I like to apply this with the Morphe M439 brush. Just get a little bit on the back of my brush and start dabbing it, stippling it on, and then in circular motions blend it in. I do like to make sure that I go over my eyelids because I do have particularly veiny eyelids. I like to make sure I get my cheek and down my neck so that my neck doesn't look darker than my face. Now that I'm done with my foundation, I'm going to go in with my concealer, and this is the Naked Skin Urban Decay Light Warm Concealer. This stuff is amazing. Everyone's heard of it. There's not a lot I can say about this. So what I'm gonna do is open this sucker up, put some underneath my eye, look, so, and I really like to go higher up on the cheekbone just to go ahead and give my face some highlight and contour so there's less work that I have to do later. Next, I go on my eyelids just to prime my eyeshadow. And I go along my jawline just to cover up any redness or discoloration. Then I go in with my handy dandy beauty blender and just tap, tap, tap. And with this thing, the more that you blend, the more natural it's gonna look, the more it's gonna look like your actual skin. It's not gonna look like you have a ton of makeup on your face. You just blend, 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 and everything will come out okay. That's what you gotta keep telling yourself. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my under eye concealer, and what I like to do is get this is the Jaclyn Hill trick. I completely stole it from her, I'm not gonna lie. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the Anastasia Banana Setting Powder shade and the MAC Pro Emphasize Setting Powder. Mix them together and pat it underneath my eye. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to set my entire face with the Rimmel London Stay Matte powder, and I have the transparent shade. And I just like to kind of stipple this all over my face to make sure that it's not going anywhere. So next thing I'm going to do is my brows. I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Brow Definer. This is the new one that has an angled tip to it, which makes things so much easier to do. I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit more, which no one wants to see that, but you're going to have to. What I like to do is I'm going to start in the middle of my brow, take it down and finish the tail end a little bit longer than what I've got, and then I'll darken at the edges. Alright, so now the fun stuff. We're going to get into the eyeshadows. What I like to use is today I'm going to be using the Gwen Stefani, I've been using it as a mirror, Gwen Stefani makeup palette by Urban Decay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the MAC 217 and dust the shade Pop all over the lid. Next thing I'm going to do is take a big fluffy brush. This just happens to be the MAC 224, and I'm going to use the shade Zone and tap off the excess and put this in the crease. With this, I do like to blend it down onto the lid a little bit, but not too much. I want to make sure that this shade generally stays in and above my crease, just to give that definition. The last thing that I've recently been doing with this look is taking some of the Lock One and Done Shadow Stick, and this is in the shade Day Trip, I believe. This is in the Tati line. I got this in my Birchbox quite a while ago. I'm pretty sure that it's still available online, but I will double check for you. If not, you can use any kind of gold eyeshadow or anything like that, just to really give your inner corner more pop. And what I did is I basically outlined the inner V of my eye and kind of blended it down onto my under eye area. Next, I'm going to be taking an angled brush. This is the MAC 266, and I'm going to be taking the color, the shade Punk, and this is also in the Gwen Stefani Urban Decay palette. This is a kind of dark chocolatey brown shade, and I'm just going to bring it as close to my lash line as absolutely possible, and then blend out the rest with my finger, and that way just to line my upper lash line. The mascara I'm going to be using today is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. If I can open it. So I'm just going to give a generous coat on my lashes. Next, for my bottom lashes, I'm going to be using the MAC Giga Black Extended Play Mascara. This stuff is amazing. It will not go anywhere. It stays on your bottom lashes, and it really separates them and defines them and gives you that kind of doll-eyed look. Alright, now that I've brought you back out again, I'm going to be doing cheeks and lips and all of that fun stuff. So today I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shades Light palette. And I'm going to stick with this middle shade right here, and I'm going to be taking the angled retractable kabuki brush from Real Techniques, And what I like to do is tap on this and tap it on the back of my wrist. And then I start at the base of my cheekbone and work it up onto the top of my cheekbone on this side. Wow, that looks like an orange stripe in the camera, but it is not, and I will blend. And then I tap the excess onto my forehead, just where the sun would naturally give me that bronze look. And I do it along the bridges of my nose, just really gently, and then I'll do it down my neck and along my jawline. Next thing I do is I grab a regular powder brush. This is just the Real Techniques multitask brush, and I'm just gonna blend in my cheek contour. And I like to do this in circular motions, mainly mainly going upward and not getting down onto the bottom of my jaw because I don't want to look like it's just a big block of orange. Next, what I like to do is to ensure that this is going to stay nice and clean and pretty. I like to go in with obviously this white powder, and it's quite thick, and this is the Real Techniques sculpting brush, and I like to just tap this along my jaw and just kind of blend it along the bottom line of my contour, and just to make sure that my redness doesn't come through and that it does stay nice and clean all day long. For blush, I'm going to be using the NARS Orgasm blush. This is just a pretty pink coral gold shade, and everybody loves this blush, so I'm not going to go too in depth about it. But I'm just going to apply this to the apples of my cheeks. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight using Champagne Pop from Becca. This is a Jaclyn Hill exclusive, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a nice gold tone, so that it's going to tie into that inner corner shade that we put on. And I like to dab and take off the excess and just put it on the tops of my cheekbones, underneath the brow, on the tip of my nose, and on my Cupid's bow. Yes! And last but not least, we are going to go in with lips. This has been an Urban Decay heavy episode, but a lot of what I own is Urban Decay. So I'm going to use these two products here. This is the Urban Decay Sheer Liar lipstick, and I'm going to use this all over. I don't really like to use lip liner, so I'm not going to pretend that I use it in videos. So just to give myself a little bit more gloss for springtime, I'm going to go in with the Naked in the shade Naked lip gloss, and this is just a sheer. It's pretty much a sheer, but it's got a little bit of a rose tint to it. Next, what I'm going to do, this is if I'm feeling super fancy or if I'm not having a really good skin day, I like to go in with the Tatcha Luminous Skin Mist. This stuff is absolutely ridiculous, and it really just revitalizes your skin and makes it look like glowy goddessness fit. It's just really pretty, and it's way too expensive, and I shouldn't have bought it, but I'm gonna put it on my face today anyway. And I just feel like my skin looks more healthy. I don't know, I feel more glowy, I feel clean and pretty, and I don't know. Last but not least, I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Master Fix Wear Boosting Setting Spray, and I'm just going to dust this all over my face to make it all stay there. Alrighty, and this is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you have any other suggestions for a makeup tutorial down below. I know I've already said this, but I'm going to say it again. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!